1/4 of the population have used illegal drugs. There are 750,000 abortions every year. 9 out of 10 have viewed porn on the internet. 1 out of 10 females have been raped. 40% of us have inflicted self-injury. 65% say there is no true religion. With so many questions and so few answers for such a time as this.
Welcome again to Such a Time as This. We're back, and we hope we will continue to come back, and I hope y'all are enjoying what we're bringing you to. You know, we have discussed several topics, and this is one thing Such a Time as This is about, discussing the different topics that we think will be very relevant for the viewers who are watching us. And society is changing so, and today we're going to talk about a different generation. Now, what does that mean, a different generation? For your older people like me and some of our elite here, we've seen different generations come and different generations go.
Yes.
But I want to today go and kind of describe what we thought as a generation when we were coming up to the generation of today. And I want to read something today that I thought would be kind of interesting to get us on the map about talking about a different generation. Yes. And everything. And like I say, this is unscripted, as y'all can already tell if you've watched us for any length of time. This is unscripted, so we just, as they say, shoot from the hip. Yeah. So, but here's what I want to read. And it says, a different generation. The word generation comes from the Latin word which means to beget, which means to procreate. A generation can be measured differently. It can be measured in as low as 17 years, and it can also be as measured as high as 70 years. It can be a family generation from the great-grandparents to the grandparents to even the newest born child. That's also considered a generation. And back in my day, you usually followed suit what your family did. Like your generation, your grandfather did a certain thing, and your father did a certain thing, and you kind of followed suit with it. I mean,
That's
you know,
right.
It was kind of, you were raised in a family where it was just the principles. I'm talking about the principles.
Yes.
were correct. I mean, you were taught the principles of life and everything about not to steal, not to lie. You were just taught the principles of life. At least if you come from a how will I say, a respectable family.
Yeah.
And when I say respectable, it doesn't mean how much money you had. It wasn't based on income. But now today, because of the mentality and rapid change that the world has seen, we now live in a generation that's full of a lot of knowledge due to the internet and different sources that it can bring in. So anybody can surf the web and find all sorts of knowledge that our generation really wasn't privy to, because we had books, and you didn't want to sit at home alone and just read books. But now today, with this knowledge, it seems that although it's changing, because some of the knowledge that we've received comes from different sources. I know that when my children was growing up, when like I'll say heavy rock was coming out, and they had different bands, and I didn't even like the name of some of the bands, and I said, oh, y'all can't listen to that. I said that. But when they left my house, hello, I'm sure they listened to it because of the you know, their peers and everything.
That's right.
So what I see in this generation right now is that mother and father can raise you in your home to a certain point and give you good principles and good understanding, but you go outside the home and it's a whole different thing. And it's become a very self-servant generation, I think.
Yes.
I don't think there's any respect for authority like there used to be. Do you remember when I was growing up, if your neighbor told you not to go in their yard, you didn't go in their yard. I mean, you know, that was an adult. And now kids today, you can tell them not to go in their yard, and they don't respect that. There's no respect they're going to say something to you. Well, everybody pick up on something.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for you to finish, Marsha, but you're absolutely right. Back in the day when we were brought up as kids, if our neighbors saw us do something wrong, and not even just saying, don't go in my yard, but if they saw us do something wrong, they had the authority to spank us. And then when our mama got home, well, it was my grandmother, when my grandmother got home, you got another whooping because due to the fact that you were calling them a lie, and you said that you didn't do it, and sometimes you really didn't do it, but because of the fact that you call an adult a lie, you got a whole nother spanking for that. So, and now we're living in, like you say, in a day and time that it's not easy to chastise a child or to even spank a child anymore, because you know you gotta be under the gun that is this gonna be considered as child abuse if they go to school and the teacher see a weapon on them or see a mark on them, you know. So you're living in a time that it is that you have to, we're living in a generation, and like you were saying about the generation of and I like to say deal with like generational curse, things that have been handed down from grandparents to their kids to their kids to their kids. And what happens is with that, you know, a lot of times, you know, somebody say, well, for instance, I got high blood pressure. Then everybody in the family is
gonna have high blood pressure.
Yeah. Or I got heart problems, so everybody got to have. No, you don't. Somewhere down the line, you can draw the line and don't have to pick up that generation in your life, that particular generation curse or that generation problem that families deal with.
But then there are some good things about the changes in the generations as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
I have a little niece, and I got a brand new cell phone. My niece is like 9, never saw my cell phone, picked up my cell phone, and she's making movies with my cell phone.
Wow.
So in a sense, some of the changes that are occurring in the generations are necessary evil.
Yeah.
Because not only are the times changing fast, we got to keep up with the time.
Yeah, yeah.
The Bible talks about the generations becoming wiser and weaker.
Yes.
And so it's like they come out of the womb knowing how to work a cell phone. They, you know,
But
they have to move faster because the generation is, the times are faster. There's more technology, there's more stuff. So in a sense, some of the changes are a necessary evil.